In a country full of bullies,
It's like, man, chill out.
insane temples, and fun new lunches,
Scares the crap out of me.
chronic back pain, that's me, and my two best friends try to do the impossible. Create content that will help you survive boredom.
Good morning from beautiful, rainy Seoul. Beautiful, rainy Seoul. This is day 3 of our adventure, and this is kind of where the meat and potatoes begins of everything. Currently headed to the subway station to meet up with a tour guide that's going to take us about as close as we can get to the North Korean border. Ever since I was in high school, I've had this kind of weird infatuation with North Korea and kind of understanding the history of the country, and really to me it just seems like this big time capsule that's full of mystery. So I'm really interested to kind of get as close as I can and learn more about the war and how everything kind of settled on the DMZ and the border specifically. I think there's a few different activities we're gonna have on the trip. I think be going into some sort of North Korean made tunnel that was made during the war to help the soldiers come through and fight. After that, I believe we're gonna have some sort of bridge experience.
The red suspension bridge?
Red suspension bridge, yeah.
So I'm planning on jumping off.
Next time we check in, Ben will be in North Korea.
There's
We'll
this
be on the other side.
There's this joke I have that I'm gonna eventually just cross the border and defect, which is not, I would say it's not likely.
Did you say 10% chance?
I would say like a 5% chance that actually
I
happens.
just think you would make a great border crossing guard.
The biggest issue we have right now is that it's supposed to rain all day. Right now it's a very light rain. We're kind of hoping that it stays that way. I guess a nice gloomy day for a nice gloomy piece of history though. Step 1 is complete. We made it on the bus. Our tour guide Ray seems like a real sweetheart, so we were really worried we were gonna get lost because there were a bunch of buses over here. All the signs are in Korean. Luckily he came up to us and showed us.
He recognized Ben.
Yeah, he recognized me. He recognized my lost face.
The Korean War is just one chapter in a long and complex history between the North and the South. A story shaped by colonization, conflict, and ideology.
Not only the history, but also the contemporary culture of Korea is heavily affected by this war. Our way of thinking, our virtue, values, customs, traditions, all have changed because of this war.
The war itself ended in an armistice, not a peace treaty, leaving the countries technically still at war to this day. I always assumed the division between the two Koreas was as front of mind for South Korea as it is portrayed in Western media. But our tour guide Ray said something that challenged that idea entirely.
So my grandfather's generation, the first generation who have experienced the war, they are very hostile towards the regime, naturally. But they're still very sentimental towards the people because they are one people, one family, one country in their perspectives. Gen Zers are a little bit younger than me. So when I think about them and myself, not me personally, but my generation, we don't care. Because we didn't live through the poverty, we didn't live through the war, we didn't live through the threat. So for us, the North Korea, the idea of North Korea is just another country. So we don't have a lot of emotional ties or familial ties to North Korean people, or the idea of North Korean regime is just something that's very foreign.
It feels like there's always some new controversy involving North Korea that makes headlines in the US. And I've already said I find it fascinating. But for many young South Koreans entering the workforce today, it's rarely a topic of daily conversation or discussion.
When we think about the idea of reunification, it's not anymore a emotional one, but rather a political and economic issue. If we were to reunify, then we're going to have to start re-educating the people, support the people with the job training, also building infrastructures, medical centers, school, right? And that's going to cost a lot, and that's going to come from our tax dollars. That is why a lot of younger people are hesitant on the idea of reunification and also reluctant or to be open.
It only felt right to include some context about the conflict while filming at the DMZ, even if just briefly. After Ray's initial introduction to the war, we were given the chance to explore an area near the actual border.
Rain is coming down here right now. We just got done with like the initial introduction into the park. A lot of really sad stories about the experiences that some of the people in Korea had, especially when the Japanese were occupying this area before World War II and during it. It's interesting to hear just about the brutality that the Japanese had during wartime, especially. Really cool park so far. I know we have a lot more to see here. We haven't even really crossed into the military zone yet. I have questions for Ray as well.
Ray has questions for you.
Yeah. Here's something really cool. I did just get a Korean money souvenir from the shop. It does have like a whole pamphlet of North Korean dollar bills. Very, very cool stuff.
It is cool to see it. It's really cool to see.
Yeah. Well, you can look at mine anytime.
Yeah. We share split custody.
Yeah.
I'll get every other weekend.
This is crazy though, just how much the rain is coming down right now.
Everyone thought you were crazy for getting the poncho. Now my entire inner body is wet. So.
Yeah. Standing like this so my hands and shoes don't get wet. But my jacket's good. Breaking it in, first time wearing it.
Dylan in his rain-resistant jacket.
Failure of design. Clearly a rain jacket, right?
Man, I'm never gonna get that sponsorship now, and this is the 5th one I've lost this week. What am I gonna do? What? Who is that? Is that Dylan out there? Ah, it is. Sayonara, bucko. Pew, 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 pew.
I'm a big scary airplane.
In front of us right now, and when the bus is turning on the left side, you will be able to see a toll gate close.
On June 25, 1950, the invasion of South Korea by the North began with earth-shattering sounds of artillery. Although North and South Korea established their own governments after World War II, the peace didn't last long.
And that's where we are, the 3rd infiltration tunnel. Once you go inside of the tunnel, into the infiltration tunnel area, you will be inside the DMZ.
So we just got done going down one of the most claustrophobic tunnels. How long do you think that was that it took to get down there?
All the way to the bottom?
It was maybe 10 to get down, 10 to get back up.
That was, I mean, I'm sweating everywhere right now. That tunnel was no joke. They also had us, we had to wear hard hats, and at first I thought that maybe those hard hats were just for show, but as soon as we got down in the more congested areas, we learned quickly that without those hard hats, we'd probably have a concussion after about 30 seconds. They didn't let us take any sort of photography, just to kind of show, I guess, what it looks like down there. They did make a little mock-up. So you got like your barbed wire, and then on the other side, it was kind of funny. We were joking that it actually looked a little nicer on the other side.
Just a lot of like vegetation and stuff on the other side. Seemed like it was an oasis of some kind.
There are 4 tunnels that the North Koreans built that they have found. However, they expect that there are like dozens more that they haven't even discovered. And the ones they have found all kind of congregate around Seoul. Says a lot about the importance of fortifying that area. Right now we're just kind of free roam around the DMZ. We did get through the military checkpoint without issues. We just had to hold up our passports and they kind of let us through without any hassle. It's a really busy day at the DMZ right now, despite the fact that it is raining. So we have to see what else there is. You guys want to get a picture over by the DMZ sign? Now that's a nice tank.
1961 and 2008.
Oh, okay, so it was operational for a long period of time. Never been inside a tank, but I really do wonder how much seating you have in there. You can see the fencing all along here, all along this tourism area. They really box you into certain areas, which is obviously understandable for a demilitarized zone.
Actually, in this area was Mr. Lonely. Front, you will see a blue paint line passing through you in the middle to the back. Again, welcome to the DMZ.
So we just made it to the observatory area. You can get a really awful view of North Korea from this foggy weather that we have right now. We're not allowed to actually record that. There's some strict laws against that. I don't know if you can hear it through the video, but there is a bunch of music, news, other South Korean propaganda playing that's projected at the North, constantly making fun of Kim Jong-un and his leadership and his government. It is just so cool to be this close to somewhere so foreign, a country that's way back in the 1950s, essentially, in terms of their infrastructure, agriculture, everything. A bummer that we don't get to see a really good view of the area from here, but regardless, just really exciting experience. Here's the old observation area right here, you can see. I don't know when they shut this down, but this one we can actually film. You probably are going to be able to get a lot better of a listen to the actual man screaming about Kim Jong-un over here.
It seems like the rest of the world cares more about North Korea and the DMZ than South Koreans do. 1 second.
Look at that, we got a traditional Korean meal. We're in a village in the DMZ right now. Apparently these people who work in this village are not allowed to leave for the most part. There's a lot of advantages in terms of like income tax. I do wonder how much enjoyment they get out of that, how much fulfillment they get out of that.
Just asking.
Yeah.
So how depressed are you? Scale 1 to 10.
So we got, I think we got pork here, some rice, some spinach, a fish, a lot of stuff that I don't eat on a normal day-to-day. Not bad. This is the traditional Korean village that's right in the DMZ, which is absolutely crazy that these people are able to live here. I was able to get some soybean ice cream, or chocolate soybean ice cream, which is actually quite good. I don't know if the soybean is a substitution for like dairy or if it's an addition, but either way it's actually really, really good. The residents are kind of forced to be here for a long period of time, but when you're 34 you get the choice of whether you want to live here the rest of your life or not. You can move out, but then you're never able to return if you do. A lot of people apparently take the latter option of moving away. Probably have internet and get some sort of sense of what life is like outside of this village, and that probably makes them more inclined to want to go somewhere else.
On your right side, that's the cow. Hi, cow.
I'm not rich enough.
More walking up large pathways. No need for a calf day after this. This is my calf day for the next week.
My exercise for the year.
In order to boost the tourism, to attract more people, the Korean government decided to build this underhanging suspension bridge, and this is the first underhanging suspension bridge. As soon as the South Korean government had the technology to do so, they constructed this one the first.
Now this is a cool bridge. I guess this one was built to boost tourism in the area. Our tour guide Ray was saying that there was a big battle that happened in this area that basically they prevented the North Koreans and Chinese from taking Seoul. This was one of the most significant places in the Korean War, apparently. The story, I guess, goes that there were 800 people on the United Nations side fighting off and fending off 10,000 soldiers on the communist side. Only 40 some apparently made it back, but this was, again, a pivotal battle to ensure that Seoul stayed with the United Nations and the South Koreans. Anyway, really cool bridge. Don't know how many of these suspension bridges I've been on in my life. You had enough of me yet?
Yeah, I'm up to here.
Did you see that? Did you see that? I'm just minding my own business, and he's telling me he's up to here with me.
Annyeonghaseyo from Seoul, day 4 here. Well, in Korea, day 3, I guess, in Seoul. After the DMZ, we decided we were going to take a little bit of a nap, and that nap ended up extending to about 12 to 14 hours. So didn't get to see a lot of the city after all yesterday. That DMZ trip took a lot out of, I think, all of us. 1, because it was super rainy. 2, because we had to walk a lot, especially through some cramped areas like the tunnel.
3, it sounded like they didn't have access to a lot of technology, so I don't think they have Xbox and stuff. That made me really sad emotionally.
Yeah, the depression really set in after that. So we find ourselves now in another alleyway in Korea. We seem to be in alleyways a lot here. We have hopefully a jam-packed day today. We're planning on going to the biggest palace in all of Seoul, home of the last Korean dynasty. After that, we're gonna probably explore the traditional Korean villages a little bit more, and then try to head up to the North Seoul Tower. I think we're all rested now and ready for a full day. So
I'm tired.
Darren's tired.
Gotta get a strawberry drink.
Yeah, that's the first thing we need to do, is find another strawberry drink. I've been getting a lot of those.
Here, stop the footage right there.
This guy's sagging behind us.
There was something clearly wrong.
I'm fine.
He is distant, he's unapproachable, he's telling me that he's had enough with me. Who has enough with me?
I don't even know what you're talking about. Everything's fine. I'm fine.
What's up with that? I mean, hold on, whoa, wait. Are we like in a reality show right now? What is this?
Yeah, the suits upstairs, the head honchos, they're asking for more drama in this episode.
The suits upstairs? We're in my apartment right now, and I'm talking to myself, and I'm on the top floor. What do you mean, suits upstairs?
Why don't you be a good little boy and just do it?
No.
Just do it.
No.
Do it.
No.
Do it.
Okay.
Every day when we were waking up, Ben would have some new random ass song he would start singing. He didn't care how good or how bad it sounded, he just started belting. After 3 or 4 days, I'd had enough. Not to mention his constant story.
Man, he's just jealous because he knows who the real star of the videos are. He gets called Henry Cavill once and he suddenly thinks he's such a big deal. Come on, man.
He said that? Didn't his last video get like 45 views?
Yeah. And 7 likes.
Wasn't one of those likes yours?
Man, get the camera out of my face. I knew what I had to do. I had to get myself back on top. Become the alpha again. And I had a plan. You see, the alpha doesn't take advice from the teacher. I knew if I showed him something he'd never seen before, it'd be impossible for him to disrespect me again. And as for this plan, step 1, get to the temple. So I acted like nothing was wrong. Played it cool. So that I could lead him to the final track.
Good news is we do have a nice sunny day today, which is a lot different than yesterday where we basically got flooded. Would have been a nice day today to go and see the North Korean side of the border, but you live with what you get. Gotta make the best of today. 여보세요. Didn't want to come in, huh?
It's a beautiful day out here. I hate strawberry juice.
It's absolutely delicious. Why they don't have this in America? At least I've never seen strawberry juice in America.
We don't have real juice anyway.
Yeah, that's true. They don't have real juice. It's just red
like-
40 and
It's like apple and some other concentrate, and then they make strawberry.
yeah. This is something they need to put in the American arsenal.
Less nukes, more strawberry juice.
Less nukes.
We need everybody to be drinking strawberry juice.
Less nukes, more strawberry juice. You heard it here first. Here we are standing in front of the palace the largest palace in Seoul, constructed I think in the 1300s, late 1300s. It was destroyed at some point, partially destroyed, and then reconstructed later on. Very big. Here there's a nice mountain range that surrounds the entire palace, the Bukaksan Mountains. If I was a ruler in Seoul in the 1300s, this would probably be the ideal spot to situate myself.
What do you think rent is here?
Probably 100,000.
100,000 won?
100,000 won.
We got to the temple, and once we walked through that gate, I knew it was time to activate part number 2 of my brilliant 2-part plan, Unleash Eerie on Earth.
Just stay focused. You basically stay inside. Out, time, get out.
Okay. Yeah, I can't even deny it. Those moves were sick. Maybe I should be a little bit nicer to him.
That's that yellow belt, black stripe, baby. They don't give that out to just anybody. I've had mine since the 2nd grade. Whoa, whoa.
A lot of room for a basketball court out here.
True.
Multiple.
Kind of a missed opportunity.
Multiple basketball courts, honestly.
You have a football field and a basketball court.
Maybe even a soccer field. Man, look at those mountains over there. You can see some people that are in traditional Korean garb. Apparently you get in here free if you wear that, but the one thing we saw is that in order to rent that, it actually costs more than the ticket to get into the palace. So maybe if you went into multiple palaces, it would be worth it. Otherwise, I think it's more just for fun or respect. A nice view of some of the skyscrapers back there as well. Another courtyard. Another opportunity for a basketball court. Yeah.
Oh, I was just taking the picture.
Both. Neither. Both. The largest palace in all of Seoul. You didn't expect to be large.
Back in the day, barking at something different.
All right, let's go. Come over here.
Seems like this is some sort of school or education room of some kind.
I think that's the kind of stuff you'd have in a elementary school today.
That's how we developed standardized testing using Korean methods. It was deceiving at first. It seemed like
I thought it was just the main, like the one you could see from outside.
looked like the courtyard and then like the one singular house. But now you look around.
All kinds of stuff. Like a self-contained city almost. Like they had markets and like that was probably a school. They had all kinds of stuff.
What would you guess? Like 1,000?
I was thinking 1,000.
1,000?
Seems doable.
5,000?
No, just 5.
Oh. It is kind of a shame they don't have like any signage anywhere, so you don't really know exactly what you're looking at. Kind of have to speculate a little bit. Now this would be a place where you could just be tranquil.
Vocabulary on this man.
I've been reading books lately.
I've been reading a couple books. Don't want to brag or anything, but you know.
A little bit.
Beautiful scenery. This looks like it might have been constructed a lot later on, so not during the time of the actual dynasty, but if you pay as little as you have to get in here, this is just a great place to relax and enjoy some scenery.
Oh, it smells good.
You smelled the wood?
Mm-hmm.
It does smell good.
Morning.
Morning. I guess the guy who built this part of the palace had daddy issues, so he wanted to build this to assert his independence, probably using his dad's money, but still.
That's right, Gojong. I'm calling you out. And you're officially on Wuss Alert.
Did you hear? Oh god, not Wuss Alert. Gosh, this is serious.
Addicted to salt? I'm gonna turn you into asphalt. Emphasis on the ass. Fault. Basically, I'm saying you're gonna end up in the ground. Again. I already talked to my dad, and he said that he would wipe the floor with your dad.
Yeah, alright, yeah. Get him, Dad.
So you better meet me at your palace this Saturday from beyond the grave, or I'm putting you on permanent Wuss Alert.
You exit the castle, you're right back on the streets of Seoul, just like that. Back in the modern world. One other interesting thing that we saw when we were coming back from our tour of the DMZ was there was a lot of protests that were going on. Again, it seems like it's for the president who got impeached. Every Saturday for the last few weeks, they've had protests in Seoul where there have been 1 million+ people. Secret Service in Korea was paying people to come out and show support for the president, despite the fact that the president had a 10% approval rating. The consequence for what the president does is either life in prison or death. I think there's a lot of internal conflict right now. Wow, we're in a traditional Korean village right now. A lot of people out and about on the street. Really got to feel bad for the locals around here. And we're not helping the problem. It was one of the sites that was recommended, so we wanted to see what it was all about. Hopefully people don't come too early and disrupt with noise.
I would try to go back down. Yeah. Keep going up.
We came into this outdoor market here. We definitely didn't leave the traditional village because we didn't want to climb higher. It was more out of the respect for everyone else. Definitely not anything to do with climbing. So
Pink.
maybe. Let's see.
Yeah. Passion.
Passion. Passion.
Pop star.
What? Let me see. Oh.
Yeah, definitely not those. Not those. Yeah.
Oh, she's right. Okay.
She's a good saleswoman.
Everything looked good.
Yeah. I can try it on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good fit.
Yeah.
How much?
75,000.
75,000. Sat down and found a place to eat. I was just called a very handsome man by the waitress here, so maybe I'm the Henry Cavill of this area. Look at all these entrees. Oh, thank you. Oh wow. I think we didn't realize how much food this is actually going to be total. So now we don't know if we're going to be able to eat it all. So we're trying to figure out how to divide and ration it so that it looks like we've eaten enough.
What if she understands what you just said? Now she's offended.
That'd be rough. Just finished lunch. We're kind of just moving around the market now. Kind of getting pulled into shops left and right. Not gonna lie, I expected this place to be a huge tourist trap, but seems like we're some of the only foreigners here. A lot of Korean locals, so picked a good spot. Well, getting a bracelet.
Why not? When in Seoul.
When in Seoul. Gotta love the entrepreneurial spirit here in Seoul.
People like grab your arm, like, come this way, come this way. You want to go in here? You want a suit?
Yeah.
You want a full suit?
Too jazzy?
Yeah, too jazzy.
It was really cool seeing the lady make this bracelet. She had like a full necklace and kind of trimmed it down into a bracelet. She was getting yelled at by someone. I think it might have been the person mad that they were helping a Westerner.
Or maybe it was just because they were helping you. And
just me specifically.
Yeah.
I like the restaurant, the vibes.
People were very nice and very helpful.
We got called handsome. That felt good.
I got called handsome. Was I? Was it? Wasn't we? I thought it was
handsome men.
handsome men. Okay, I thought it was me. I thought I was getting the ego boost.
Yeah, so like glance at the menu for like 1 second. She's like, all right, come in. Let's go.
We're headed towards North Seoul Tower right now. We get to ride up on the cable car. We did have an interesting observation. We don't see any sort of like homeless population around here. Just trying to understand, is that just because of the mentality of the Korean people? Like they just feel a strong sense of pride in work and have a stronger support system with the family. I know like the culture here is family first on everything. Very clean city. You don't have any trash cans around here. There's really no need for it. It's funny. You can see the whole city from this observation deck. It wasn't too expensive either to actually get up here. What do you think?
Absolutely astonishing. This view of Seoul brought to you. So you ever had an M&M before?
Good gummy. The fire door closes and then the fire, so I think we're just trapped. Nobody's getting out of here.
Where are we going, boys?
Did you think that I would cry? Going to Hongdae. Getting some beef in Hongdae.
Beef and soju.
What'd you say we're doing, Darren?
Beef 3 set in Hongdae.
This is him some Joe. We did a busy bee. This is our first Korean barbecue experience, so we're trusting you to guide us through it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
No pressure at all.
A little pressure.
Actually a lot of pressure.
Okay. Oh, but I'm best clear.
Yeah. That's good. We like the confidence. That's good.
I'm scared to serve it.
The best beef. Greatest meat in town. Don't laugh way too hard when she said that she's trying to feed us the best meat.
Can I ask you a question? Why are you wearing a bib?
Why are you wearing a bib?
And, as for the rest of the night,
Smells like Teen Spirit.